did to me. People, get over it. By the time these young people get ready to have children, they will realize that as the hole in the ozone layer gets larger and larger, more and more sunlight is allowed to enter our environment, and more people who have pale faces are going to die of melanoma.
Hey guys, so I'm covering this really crazy story in Montgomery County, Maryland, and it just became even more disturbing. Okay, so you see this gas station behind me. It's a Shell. They also call it the Dash Inn. It's like a convenience store. Well, yesterday, one of their clerks that was 61 years old was shot and killed. And that was bad enough. A 61-year-old man who was just trying to do his job. A man walked in, grabbed an iced tea, and then when he got to the counter, he got into some type of altercation with the clerk, which led to him shooting the clerk multiple times in the chest. Then today, police held a press conference to give us an update about the person who's responsible for shooting the clerk here, and told us that when they went to go arrest this man, he had a pregnant woman's decomposing body in his apartment. So, okay, just to give you some perspective, I'm here at the Shell station. Across the street is where police say the suspect, a 31-year-old, I'm going to show you his picture in a second, lives. They say after he shot the clerk over here at the Shell station, he went across the street to where he lived. Okay, and this is the suspect. He's 31 years old, and his name is Tory Moore. So police say that they arrested him without any issues and that he even confessed to his crimes. So he admitted to shooting and killing the clerk here at the Shell, but he also told detectives that he and his pregnant girlfriend got into some type of fight last month, which somehow led to her dying. So yes, for a month, allegedly, this man had his pregnant girlfriend's dead body in his apartment, and he was still living there the entire time. And the suspect, 31-year-old Tory Moore, is being charged with first-degree murder as well as another firearm charge. He's due in court Monday for a bond hearing.
Listen what I hate, I gotta say. I never give a broke bitch any time of day. You ugly when you jealous, bitch. Look at that face. I'm hot right now when you're not, okay? You big man, or you big man. Got a big bag, popping big tags. All white Rover, yeah, with that.
And we're back. What's going on, everyone? This is Star. Welcome to the channel and happy Friday. How was your week? My week was great. Nobody bothered me as I was getting to the bag. You know, people sometimes, they try to get between me and my bag, and I just can't have that. And you know, I just don't understand that, because what's destined for me is for me, and what's destined for you is for you. And it's enough money out here for everybody. Anyways, let's get to this show. As you saw in the opening clips, we're talking about black men and violence. Something is going on with some of these black men, because they're so quick to unalive their significant other or their child. And it is very disturbing. And no dating coach can fix it, because you don't have the schooling and you don't have the expertise. And neither do I. So the other day I was at my favorite overpriced store, CVS, getting some girly items. So as I'm browsing the aisle looking for my favorite lip gloss, a man approaches me and asks for my number, and I tell him I'm involved with somebody. And he proceeds to give me advice on how to cheat on a man. You know, at this point, you can't even blame the dating coaches for the way these men act. These men never had fathers to teach them. When I was growing up, my parents taught me that the world owes you nothing. And if you really want something, you got to get out here and work for it and get it yourself. No excuses, period. When I was in high school, I did not want to go to college. I just didn't want to do it. And I told my mother that. And she said, where you going to live at once you graduate? Because you're not going to live here. I looked at my mother like she was crazy. I said, you gonna kick me out the house? My mother looked at me and she said, what kind of mother would I be if I didn't advise you to go to college and better yourself so you can have a bright future? What kind of mother would I be if I just let you run the streets and risk your life? I ended up attending a private university. I double majored in business law and I also studied ballet. and I danced on a major stage, and I had fun. If you want your body to be sculpted, get trained by Alvin Ailey instructor. I'm telling you, it is worth it. These parents, they're scared to give tough love to their kids. Hell, they're scared to death of their kids. You know, a lot of these black men can't handle rejection, but then they turn around and get on the internet 7 days a week and tell black women, oh, we don't like you, nobody wants you, you're the last on the list. They do everything they can to make black women feel rejected, yet themselves they can't handle rejection. Now, isn't that funny? And I don't see things getting better anytime soon. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to the car dealership with my cousin. He was looking for a new car. Now, he'd been to this particular car dealership before, but he wanted to go again. As soon as we get inside the dealership, we're approached by a salesman. And he looks at me and says, oh, you're attractive. How many kids do you have? I looked him dead in the face and said, I don't have any children. How many babies out of wedlock do you have? Because if you come at me disrespectful, I'm going to come back at you disrespectful. He then says, what do you mean you don't have any babies? My cousin then jumps in and says, why do you care how many kids she has? You told me you was married with 4 children. It got so out of control, the guy's boss had to step in and force him to go to the office. You know, it's so sad to get stereotyped by your own people. And then men wonder why the quality black women make the decision to date outside the race. It's because black men are disrespectful. It's really sad what's going on with black men. They don't have any respect for themselves. They don't have any respect for their spouses at home. They could care less if they get fired from their job or not. It's beyond sad. You know, some of these black men are unrealistic. They think every day is supposed to be a win. They think every day there should be no rejection. Every day should be bright and sunny, and it's just not realistic. Some days are going to be horrible, and you got to fight through it. That's it. I know women that love approaching men for dates, and guess what? They get rejected a lot, but it doesn't stop them. It doesn't make them want to unalive somebody. Yep, I said it. At the end of the day, a lot of us need some therapy. And now we're going to move on to Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless.
Still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal...
Put your glasses back on.
Shannon Sharpe should have took off his microphone and walked off set. But he sat there squealing like a woman. It was disturbing. This white man told him to his face, you are nothing. Your accolades mean nothing. And Shannon Sharpe damn near cried. How are you going to allow a man that has never played a sport professionally to sit up and totally humiliate you? I know I was reading a comment on somebody else's page and they were saying Shannon Sharpe was bug broken in that moment. I agree. I was so disturbed by the clip that I had to find out where Shannon Sharpe was from. And when I read Chicago, I thought, okay, this must be a typo. Because Chicago people do not play that. And then I read at 3 months old, he moved to Georgia. Okay, it makes sense. You know, Skip Bayless, he also tried to come for Jalen Rose's legacy. But Jalen Rose put him in his place with the quickness. And where is Jalen from? Detroit. And we all know people from Detroit don't play that shit. You know, Skip sound like he wants to no longer work with Shannon the way he came at him. You know what kind of statement Shannon Sharpe would have made if he would have quietly took off his mic and walked off the set? It would have been epic. These black men, they scared to death to play chess in the corporate arena. I don't know why. Anyways, next on the list, we got your girl, Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan Thee Stallion is in court over who shot her in the foot, and it looks like y'all owe her an apology, because turns out she actually got shot. Why don't the men believe her? Does Megan have to be a few shades lighter to get sympathy? I think Megan made a huge mistake that night when she got shot because she tried to protect everybody but herself. And here we go again with a black woman putting herself last. Didn't we talk about this last week with Derrick Jaxon's wife? I think we did. Tory Lanez admitted that there was a shooting, but it was Megan's best friend that shot her, and not him. And as you can see, once again, a black man is looking out for himself. He don't care if he have to send you to jail. Black women, you better wake up to this game. According to reports, everything started at Kylie Jenner's house, and when things got heated, she told them to leave. Kylie was like, listen, I enjoyed being black for a couple of moments. I'm now back to being a white girl. Go ahead and leave my home, please. I mean, Kylie, she refused to even testify. She was like, listen, I'm not doing any of that. I hope Megan gets justice in this case, but if she was only honest from the beginning, it would have been a slam dunk. And Megan's best friend, she did a interview with the prosecutors admitting that Tory Lanez shot Meg, but then when she got on the stand, she was pleading the fifth. It's messy. I wish Megan the best on this case, and I hope it goes in her favor. Next. Last but not least, we're going to talk about Stephen Boss, better known as Twitch. Prayers to his family, may he rest in peace. I've seen some crazy videos about this story, people making wild accusations. People are saying, oh, it's the Illuminati. He was sacrificed. His wife had him eliminated for the insurance money. Really? Don't you want to wait for some evidence to come out, if it is any incriminating evidence? And then you got some people doing the gematria. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that is. You know, where they're doing the calculation of numbers of his hotel and his birthday. Some of Twitch's kids are teenagers. So can you imagine them running to their mother and saying, hey, we just read that you eliminated our dad for the insurance money. Can you imagine? Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to leave this story alone and wait for the evidence. Next. Listen, I'm going to talk about Derrick Jaxon and then I'm out of here. Derrick Jaxon is smart because you know what? He learned from Kevin Samuels that he no longer has to be the good guy. He can now be the bad boy and make even more money. Yeah. See, he understands that it's more than numbers. If you want to be a star in Hollywood, it takes more than having like, let's see, 500,000 followers. You got to have the look, you got to have the charisma, you got to have the intelligence, you got to be quick on your feet. You got to have everything going on for you. When some of these YouTubers that do have the numbers get an opportunity on television, guess what? Sometimes it don't go as well. Because all they have is the numbers. They thought that's all they needed, but it's not true. I have family and some high school friends that are in the industry, and let me tell you something, they're all beasts at their craft. And that's why Hollywood came knocking on Kevin Samuels' door, because he had the whole package. And I know women don't want to hear me say that, but I gotta give credit where it's due. So don't be surprised when Derrick Jaxon takes the top spot again, because he understands the game and plays it very well. Just sit back and watch. I'm Star. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will talk to you guys next time. Good night.